Hello everyone, this is Mr. Review with a crafting video so we can all have a good laugh at my horrendous crafting skills. The video is a bit wobbly for the first minute. My apologies if anyone gets a bit seasick. It's because I had to use my phone on this bit. I've no idea why, to be honest. Can't remember why I had to use my phone. But this is the template that I cut out initially. Very important that you get the template correct. It took me, I think it was about 2 hours, because my crafting skills, as we are all about to bear witness to, are shit. Put it in a single word. But this is the template that I made to begin with. Lots of measuring. I used a piece of cardboard which I'd got from some compression socks that I had to wear in hospital. So a bit weird. Yeah. But I used one main straight edge, and then the rest of them I obviously cut out with a ruler. And I used that template then to put onto another piece of cardboard, drew around all the holes, and I then cut all those holes out because I wanted to make a cardboard case to see what the quality of, to see if the holes were in the right place to begin with. And I glued the cardboard case together with some Pritt stick. I don't know what it's called in other countries, Yoo-hoo maybe. It's like a paper glue stick thing. And that's what the case turned out like. I used a bit of sellotape as well, just so the Pritt stick would hold. Got all the cutouts for the various controls, but in hindsight it could have been different. However, you'll see in a moment, or you'll see now, that it fits like a glove, as somebody once said in a film. Jim Carrey, I believe. You can see the gold bits on the volume. You've got the cutout for the lock switch, that I don't use. 3.5 the USB. That was for just to make a sort of softer area where I could, if I needed to take the DAP out, I could push the DAP through. Didn't really work. And there's the cutouts for the controls on the side, and I left the top open because I don't feel the need to have a top. And I think that's the end of the wobbly seasickness. I'm not bothered about seeing all of the glass part. I just wanted to see control where the actual display is. And here we go. These are my crafting tools. A knitting ruler, a very sharp Stanley knife, and this. Now this is a pack of leather, 2 kilogram pack of leather that I got from Amazon for the grand total of, I think, £5.50 maybe. I'll try and put the price up on screen, but it was ridiculously priced because it was free postage as well. It's basically from a sofa company, offcuts from a sofa company. Now, that's the size of the DAP. So I think I've just about got enough to make 1 or 2 cases there. The price for postage, I've got a feeling, was £4. So once they've taken the eBay charges off, I can't think they're going to make much out of it, but I suppose it gets rid of it. And there you go. I'm just trying to check out that I've got enough big pieces for the templates, and it turns out that yes, I have. Now there's only about 2 or 3 colours. However, you can see here I'm checking sort of both sides because I quite like that suede side. In fact, I prefer the suede side more than the leather side. There is a couple of oddments sticking around, a little black bit there. There's another piece coming up that you would probably be in your mum's gusset, hole there just for asshole, so you can stick your finger in if you wanted to, or not. And the rest of it, it's all offcuts. Some of it is just that long stringy bits. You could make, I don't know, belts with it, thongs if you wanted to, something to tie yourself to the bed frame. Here we go with the drawing, and this is where I made my first mistake. My first enormous mistake, because this was supposed to be for the grey material to be on the outside. So I'm measuring it all out. marking all the cutouts. Obviously I've fast forwarded the video because otherwise this video would be like 45-50 minutes long and no one's going to watch me for that length of time. I don't think people watch me for 10 minutes, never mind an hour and 10. So yeah, I'm marking all the cutouts that I need to do. And my big mistake was I've marked it on the wrong side, because that now, which you'll see momentarily, there you go. So that's the cutouts I made, and at this point I realised, oh fuck, I've cut it out for the wrong side. So that now is going to be the leather side. Now this was the very first one I'd done, so I'm just measuring it against the template to make sure what the sizes was like. And what I probably should have done was measured it against the actual DSP itself. This one didn't turn out too bad, as we will see towards the end of the video. But yeah, it's I get better as the obviously as I go on. I felt there was way too much material on this one side, so I'm basically cut it up, and this is how I was cutting it up, cutting it with a standing knife half a dozen times, and keeping your fingers well away from the blade. So anybody who's doing it, be very, very careful. So the reason why I put the cardboard case on, I think, was because I didn't want to get any glue on the DSP itself. Now, in the end, it turned out to be a good idea, as we'll see. But I was that's just some super glue that I've got. I know you can get actual leather glue, which makes things probably a little bit more flexible, but I wanted to make sure that it was going to stay stuck. And this is where the issues began a little bit, because I then realised I hadn't got enough material where I'm gluing now. I should have left more material between those, I don't know what you'd call them, those cutouts or those bits that are sticking out, because there's not enough then to glue onto this top cover. So you'll see it in a second. As I have tried to make this video as quick as I could, but there was obviously, I wanted to show people how it's done up to a point, and there are better crafting videos out there. And then I'll glue on the other bits that are sticking out. However, that gap there, I should have left more material, so I basically had to blob some glue on. And this is where it's not the greatest of finishes, to say the least. The upside of it is you don't see it when you're looking at the DAP from the front. So I think I got quite lucky, because I didn't plan I really didn't plan where the seams were going to be, even though I did the template. So, and again, at this point, I was still thinking that the DSP-1 was just going to go inside the leather case. So that's I did a bit more glue and bits just to be on the safe side. And then again, I put the cardboard over the case eventually. It is quite a tight fit on the case. So I still thought at this point it'd still be fine, just on its own to go over the DAP. And again, I've used the case so I don't get any glue on the actual DP-s1 itself. And there you go. And again, I didn't, this was lucky again, because once again I didn't factor in where the seam was going to be, but as you'll see in a sec, it's at the back. And then just finish off that seam with more super glue. It's at the back, there you go. So you can't see any of the seams when you're looking at the front of the case. So it's my first attempt, so I was pretty happy with it to this point, except for those and those. But there wasn't much you could do with it, because obviously leather's a soft material, and I haven't got machines to do it with, and I've not got the greatest of skills. But as you'll see here, the DAP will just fall out like that. So I was not going to stop, but you'll see more on the next video, and you'll see the results on the next video.